part in terms of tech, and then specifically with Sales Cloud, and more of it with the uh, CRMA part as well, with the that is related to the Sales Cloud. Okay, so I can see that people are still joining in. It's nice to see you all guys over here. Uh, what we'll do is this session of 7 to 8 weeks, what we are planning up to, is mostly for the people who just wanted to get started with the Salesforce ecosystem. They wanted to understand the basic of admin, and also while they are mitigating and they are looking about the kind of rules what they can look up to after they go an admin training from and learning through it. Okay. Just give me one quick minute. In the meantime, let me just share my screen. Rimsha, is it visible?
Sumar, it is visible.
Okay.
We can see your slides.
Okay. So yeah, this training, what we are starting through is this is uh, being accommodated by Salesforce User Group Karachi, Pakistan, where we have Rimsha, who is the admin of this group. Before we start this conversation, I had just a forward-looking statement from Salesforce. Please do not make any purchase or anything based on the conversation is. Always see the stock values, and based on that, make your purchases for the Salesforce. Yeah. So this is Bash 2 of Salesforce Admin Training. This is a session 1 where we would be starting with the very basics of what is cloud computing, how cloud computing is related to Salesforce, the Salesforce ecosystem, and the architecture. These are very basics of Salesforce where when you go for a interview, right, they might ask you these very basic questions. So we'll delve into the same. Again, that is my session, and we have Vimsha for this, so that is on the page view. So going ahead, these are the topics that we would be covering today. That is was we'll see what is cloud computing, and then the PaaS and SaaS models, what exactly they are, and what they do. Then how it is related to the Salesforce. Then we'll deep dive into the Salesforce architecture. We'll learn about the admin roles and the related roles that can be taken up once you get into an admin role. And then we have org setup, the basic Salesforce org setup, and the company information, and how you can navigate into Salesforce ecosystem. First of all, I just wanted to know that like around 30-35 people have this who are very new to Salesforce, like they haven't used Salesforce yet, or they've just started with Trailhead. What kind of experience they have? So if you could just put in your chat, like what kind of experience you have. Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I am just checking. Just wanted to know our attendees how they're using Salesforce. If they have any idea about it. Uh,
Okay. So
yeah.
this is the question for the room, right? So there is Yahya bin Zafar. I am Oracle Fusion consultant at PwC. Aisha Wasim has 4 months of experience. Ali Hamza is a beginner. Hazik Rizwan has 3 months of experience. Here is Rabia, beginner. Amna using Salesforce as a CSM. Fozia,
Cool.
double star ranger. Shahid is a FE experience in SFCC 1 year. Uzair Ahmed is a beginner. Aisha completed my Salesforce training. Mostly beginners. So they are around 80% of people are beginner, and there are few who has like less than 1 year of experience.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me know if the slides are again available. Can you see that? The slides?
I can see your I can't see your slides. I can see the meeting room. You need
Okay,
to share the tab of your slides. Yeah.
just give me a minute. Thank you for the quick confirmation. I can see that a lot of folks are new to it and maybe 3 to 4 months of experience, and there are some experienced folks as well. So just going into the cloud computing, what exactly it is, what do you mean by cloud computing? So in a very simple language, when we say cloud computing, it is a way of accessing the services on the internet instead of a computer. So previously, the legacy systems that we already had, what we'll have to do is, if we have to access any of the software, any of the system, right, we'll have to have that physical device with us. We'll have to have the application uh, developed with ourselves, and then we'll have to deploy it and then have to use it. But then, with the emerging technologies, and then cloud computing came into place. That's the place where you just need to have the internet. You can just browse the specific services that you wanted to have using the web browser only. So, and you can do it virtually from anywhere. You do not have to be sitting next to the data center where your servers are, where your data center is. So, this is what cloud computing is. Whether you're working in Chicago, Hong Kong, Pakistan, India, using the same services, you can just go ahead with it. Okay. And then the next question is, how does it actually work? What are the 3 major things that uh, let the cloud computing work around? So basically, we would be needing 3 things. First is a cloud service provider. A cloud service provider is someone who has the data storage, who has the servers, physical machines at their data centers, so that would be a license between your data communication. Then the end users like us, who should have the assets from which we can access those information, such as a laptop or a mobile phone, so that we can browse it. And then the internet provider, so that we can use the internet and get that information. Okay. Uh, well, if I talk in a very layman language, it is just like renting a car. So basically, we rent a car, we get to drive that vehicle. Okay. But if there are any repairs, or if it's got crashed, or there are some maintenance of that car, it's been taken care by the owner. So the cloud computing, the agencies, they are the owners of it. We are just renting it based on what kind of service we like, the kind of car we like, whether we are based on our budget and our need. We can drive in a Maruti 800, or we can drive in a Porsche as well. So based on that, if our requirement changes, if we have more budget, if we have more requirement, if we have more business, we can change our specific car. So that's how we can change our specific cloud provider and get those services. Okay. Any questions as of now? Okay. Let's deep dive into uh, advantages of using cloud computing. So, like, if we have all the traditional ways, why we wanted to use this cloud computing, how it came into existence, and why are the things that makes it over the traditional IT services. So, first of all, that is called as disaster recovery or redundancy. That means uh, we have our data in our, let's say, with the traditional systems, right? We do not have the recovery systems, as if like, because all the information is online, right? All the cloud providers, they have some recovery solutions, and they also check for the data redundancy, so that within their multiple data centers, data is not being replicated and it's being stored in a single system. And it also ensures that the data loss due to hardware failures, because previously we have specific hardwares that are stored at a specific place. So if there's an outage at place one, then those systems completely get out of the sync, and we are not able to leverage those. But now, if we have failure at, let's say, hardware center one, we have the data backup at hardware center two as well. So if you're working in Salesforce, right, sometimes it might be a scene that your org instance is down and you're not able to use those services. So that happen only when the entire instance of a particular area is being down. If the instance of a your system is only down, other people who are using the same instance would be able to do so using the concept of multi-tenant architecture, which we will discuss further on. Okay. Then with these cloud computing things, we have a lot of security enhancement in place. Uh, these providers use encryptions, access controls, a lot of authentication mechanism, two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication, so that whatever the data is being stored of our customers, that is safe in place. Okay. Also, with cloud computing, what we can do is that is CI/CD, continuous integration and deployment. There are a lot of tools for it, and we can continue to develop, integrate, and with the same time, we can see that how our development and how our push codes have been working within the system. Okay. Also, like when we say scalability, that is like it's a on-demand scalability. Based on that, if your business is going low, if you wanted to reduce your resources, you can ask your cloud provider to reduce such resources, and then you can go ahead. Or if there's a surge in your business, there are a lot of demands of whatever you are selling based on cloud platform, you can ask for multiple licenses as well. Okay. Then we have resource utilization. So basically, there's a concept of virtualization that we won't get deep into it, but still, like with the there are multiple instances of server of a single server, and then we can use the concept of virtualization, which would act as a virtual machine for us, and which will act as a server, so that it can use the maximum hardware resources. Okay, I know that whatever we are talking about might sound a bit boring, but then if you go in a basic interview, they might ask you about very basics of it. So we'll cover this, and then we'll move into the basics of Salesforce as well in the later part. Now, going ahead, so these are basic advantages what you can speak of whenever you ask me a question of. Going ahead, there are three types of cloud computing services. Rimshu, you're saying something?
No, Umar, I'm not saying
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but participants are on the presenter mode, so they might ask questions. And I've also shared the option to ask questions in Hindi and Urdu, like if they are using
Okay.
mic, right?
Okay.
So yeah, I'll let you know if there's a question.
Yeah. Please let me know so we can start at that point and we can discuss it further. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, cool.
So as of now, like we have talked about what is cloud computing, what are the advantages of it, and how it has been. So there are three major cloud computing services that we have. That is software as a service, infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service. Okay. So these are the major three offerings which is being given by any company, and we leverage these services. Okay. So first of all, we go to the software as a service. What actually it is. Okay. So basically, when we say SaaS, it is like it's give you an access to the application services deployed on a server. Okay. So basically, a server is already deployed. You'll have access to the software. You can use it. You do not have to bother about installing the software, maintaining it, doing the coding or anything. You just have to use your browser and view it and run the program. You do not even have to download or put any setup. The program is there for you and you can just use it up. Okay. What the SaaS provider who's providing you the software as a service will handle all the software maintenance, the setup cost, the support cost, and everything. And then they will charge you based on how do you consume their services. Okay. If I give you a very real time example, it is like uh, taking a bus. So let's say you board a bus. So when you board a bus, you already have the bus infrastructure, seats are there, everything is there, and it also follows a specific route. Okay, and then you with there are other folks as well who are sharing the bus with you. Okay, so that's how like when we speak about multi-tenant architecture, so we have a particular structure over there and there are multiple tenants, so there are multiple people. You might be going, let's say, to a place A, and your co-seater who has been sitting with you might want to go to B, so then you will travel in the same bus. There's a predefined route to it and then you will use those services. Okay, it is basically an on-demand services. uh, that's how you wanted to take it. Basically it depends on the licenses, the kind of licenses you take, you'll get more services upon it. And it's a shared data model, so that you can use around. Some examples of it is like Salesforce, Google Apps, Microsoft 365, Google Docs. These are our examples of software as a service. Okay, going ahead, we'll discuss the second thing, platform as a service. So first of all, we discussed software as a service. Now we have platform as a service. So PaaS or platform as a service is a computing platform that offers computing solutions where we have the operating system, the programming language, database service, and everything, where you can develop something out of your own. Okay, so it is like it is mostly for the developers where they develop, run the codes, and manage the applications. So they do not have to think of the infrastructure from on which they have to build it. It's already there. They have given the platform, and based on that, they build all those applications. Okay. So if I give you an example in a layman term for PaaS services, it is like you hail a cab. Okay, so you do not drive that cab by yourself. You tell the driver where you wanted to go. You just sit back and relax, and he will take you to the places. So that you are in the charge where you wanted to go. So you direct which route you want to follow. So over here, there as a platform, you get the platform. You can code as you want. And then based on that, you can create the applications how you want to create it. In the previous example, where we already have the software in place and then you make some changes as per the user demand. Here, as a developer, you will develop the codes on the platform and then you can run it up. Okay. And third, this is the base layer of the computing, that is the infrastructure. Okay. So it involves like virtual machines and the other resources such as file-based storage, firewalls, load balancers, IP addresses, virtual LAN and WAN networks. Okay. So when we say about infrastructure as a service, it is a foundation of any cloud computing concept. All the traditional IT services were based on this only, where they have their traditional IT setup, and then based on that, they work on that infrastructure. If we give a example in a lay language over there, it's like it's an automobile leasing. So when you go and lease a car, you got to select the automobile, which car you want, right? And then you drive it and whatever you can do it. But then it is not yours. It is on the lease. Okay. After that, after some time, you feel like okay, you want a different car or maybe a different need, then you can go ahead, go again, and you can again lease a new car. And then based on that, like the infrastructure is changed, how you want to have it, and then you can move around. Okay. So if you go with the slide example, right? I have given an e-commerce example where they wanted to host their website, so they can use this the infrastructure. They do not have it. They have all the codings and everything, but they do not have infrastructure where they can host their website. So that's how they can use it. So these are three major pillars of cloud computing over there, and this is a diagram that will give you more information about how PaaS, SaaS, and traditional IT are over
Umar,
there.
there's
Mhm.
a question from Arabia. She's asking, is the online purchasing GPU is also a cloud computing service platform or what?
Online purchasing GPU.
Yes.
Okay. So again, if something that is managed
And
on the
Hazik,
cloud,
there's Hazik Rizwan who replied, it's a SaaS, Salesforce as
yeah,
a service. Sorry,
yes.
software as a service.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a software as a service because they have used that as an online platform where they were using the software. They are not developing anything on it. They are just utilizing the resources. Okay. So if you see this slide over there, there's a very slight difference between PaaS and SaaS. That is the application. So this is being managed by you. Okay. In the past, where you have the platform where you're developing the entire application, that is being managed by you. Other things that you see in blue is being managed by your vendor. So when we see the Salesforce UI, we'll get into more into it. But as of now, who have started using Salesforce, assuming that when you just log into the Salesforce org and what you see, you are able to create a profile or a role or something like this. That is like you have been given a software and you're just logged into your credentials and using it. When you have to do the customizations, make it as a scalable application, you will use the resources such as Apex coding, uh, LWC, Heroku, and then these are where you develop your applications.
Awesome. I think Arabia, I hope it is cleared now.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
So yeah, going further, now this is a very basic interview question where if they ask you about cloud computing and you're able to explain them what it is, then we will ask you, then if you're using Salesforce, whether it is a PaaS or a SaaS. Okay. So the answer is it is a bit of a both. It is not purely SaaS. It is not purely PaaS. Because it's such a diverse application and services. It has both the capabilities. So it is also used as a SaaS provider and also as a PaaS provider. So when we say it's being used as a SaaS provider, okay. So what exactly does it mean when we say it is a SaaS? Anyone wants to give any
It's a
like
platform
go?
as a service.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a
Yes. Go on, Rizwan.
no, it's okay.
Awesome. Because it's
okay.
a platform as a service, it is a big platform which is providing different services to different industries, like there's a bank industry, health industry, sales, marketing. So I think this is why you can say it's a PaaS.
Yeah. So basically, when we say why is a PaaS or SaaS, first I go with the SaaS thing. So basically, Salesforce CRM is the core product of the Salesforce company. Okay, and then we have multiple clouds to it. So we have a sales cloud, service cloud, marketing cloud, commerce cloud. So you do not have to create the sales cloud on your own. They've already created it for you. Okay. They've already created a service cloud for you. They have already created a marketing cloud. So when you log into the system, right, it's already there. It's you have the different clouds. If you wanted to use leverage accounts, your contacts, your leads, opportunities, we have the sales cloud for it. Then we have the service cloud where after we have given them a particular services, they can manage their case management, knowledge management, assign their agents to the omni channel, and a lot of things that they can do. Using the marketing cloud, they can use the multi-channel marketing from email studio to marketing studio. and they can channelize how to target their customers and how to check for their campaigns and SMS based across. And then we have the Commerce Cloud, that is B2C or B2B businesses. So these are all the software which is being given you as a service by Salesforce. Okay. Going ahead, why it is a PaaS provider. In addition to it, if you have already heard, maybe when you started learning somewhere, you have seen that Salesforce platform is also called as Force.com sales, Force.com. So this is the platform of Salesforce where it enables the developers and the other people so that they can manage their servers, they can do the networking, and then they can code on that. Okay. So basically, if we talk about what are the offerings, then we have the Apex Code, the Visual Force, the Lightning platform. If you go and just create a Lightning app, which we'll discuss later in the later sessions, so you would be able to create an app on your own. So the app that you're creating in Salesforce on your own is basically you are using Salesforce as a PaaS provider for you because you created an app on your own. It is not a by default app which you are using just browsing the Salesforce application. And then we have Heroku as well. That is also used for creating the apps and integrating it with Salesforce. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Let's go for yeah. So this is a slide where we would be discussing on the SF architecture. Basically, we have been talking a lot about platform and what is Salesforce and the applications around it. So how does it look like in Salesforce? How exactly it is? So if you see this diagram on the right side, in the very lower layer, you'll see the trusted multi-tenant cloud structure, okay, where we have all the CRM data, we have the authentication methods to access those data and the access model to it. Okay. Uh, this is the basics of the Salesforce architecture, where when we say multi-tenant, as if like on a single instance, we have multiple orgs, and that has been customized as per their requirement. So they live at the same server, they live at the same instance, but they no one is able to access each other org. Why? Because we have different authentication methods to log into the Salesforce org to protect it using the multiple authentication factors. And then within that, we have the access models from where uh, we have the security of the system so that the users in the system have a specific access based on a lot of factors. So that is the base of it. Okay. Then on top of it, we have the platform. So platform means where the people they have developed. So basically, we have a Lightning platform, we have a Heroku platform, we have Apex team. So here, all the developers and the team where they are using the services of Salesforce, where they develop apps on top of it. So if you see, Sales is one of the Lightning apps that has been developed on the Lightning platform. Then we have Service Cloud that has been developed on a Heroku platform. Okay, so these are the examples of it. So on the very top, we have the applications. Then the middle layer is the platform from where we'll build it with all the custom metadata, and we have all the AI, APIs, and everything. These are for the development. And the first layer, that is your basis of how you would be accessing those information. So this is a basic Salesforce architecture. You do not have to get very deep into it. Just that you'll have to understand that how when you would be accessing your org, right? So what exactly you are looking up to. Okay. Okay. Let's head and we'll discuss some key terms or architectural components that are in Salesforce. Okay, so these terms that you're seeing over here, right? These are the key components of us that makes up the Salesforce architecture. So first of all, it is a multi-tenancy model. So we have been discussing about this, right? So basically, again, I'll tell you, this is a single instance of the software where multiple users and tenants reside, and their data is separated logically. They are being secured with authentications. There's a data isolation and privacy. So all the data is being stored on a single instance, but the orgs are different. If I use an org A and you guys are using org B, C, D, E, you are not able to see my data because I have a specific data isolation because with a certain way I logged into my org with my credentials. Okay. Also, there are certain settings, uh, IP ranges and all those, which we'll cover in later parts. But yeah, it's how it is, the multi-tenancy model of it. Going ahead, what are the layers of Salesforce architecture? So we have been speaking a lot of what is a Salesforce architecture. Uh, so there are four major layers which work around, and that you can correlate to any other architecture if you work in a different tech as well. So first is the presentation layer. What is the presentation layer? It is the UI, how the end user see through. Okay, and how to interact with the web browsers and the mobile devices. So it is basically the Lightning Web Components, the Visual Force pages, the Aura pages. This is all the Lightning Experience UI, how the end user sees that particular application, how we see the Salesforce org, right? So this is the presentation layer. Behind to it, we have a logic layer where we define how the things would be displayed. If we wanted to display on the client side, we have LWC, that is called as Lightning Web Components. And on the server side, we have the Apex code. So that's how the data is being processed and manipulated on the application layer or the logic layer. Going further, we have data layer. So which data that you will see, right? So we have a specific database with Salesforce. We have some key terms called as an object. We have fields, we have relationships, and we have data security settings. So those things make up the data layer. How a specific data would be visible to a person. And third, the fourth one is the integration layer, where we can communicate with an external system, applications, and the services. Basically, it's the use of the APIs and multi connectors and the connected apps that we make it for the data synchronization and the integration.
Hello, Umar. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so it's a Maghrib time here in Pakistan. So we need 5 to 10 minutes a break just to pray Maghrib, and then we can start again if you are comfortable.
yeah. That would be fine. We can do that.
Okay, so guys, we are on break for 10 minutes. You can like carry on with your prayers, and then we will be here. You can just mute yourself, and we are here. We will just start in 10 minutes again. Sure, Umar.
Yeah, sure.
No one is leaving call. Be there, and like we will
Thank you.
start the session in the 10 minutes. No worries. And good
Thank
call
you.
out. It slipped on my mind. Thank you.